Hey, what's up, everybody? Just coming at you one more time. Got some footage from the convention. Not just the convention floor, we got some stuff from the meet and greet with Jason David Frank, who is a very cool guy, by the way. If you ever get a chance to meet him at a convention or anything, don't pass it up because he is totally worth seeing. After that, we got a little bit of a montage of some of the stuff from his half hour of power karate class, which was also, a fun thing to enjoy watching. Not much else to say about that. I'm still wearing my Mario costume. Black Lanterns represent. And my little buddy Dry Bones. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just watch the rest of that footage, and then I'm gonna put this in a closet somewhere and forget about it for a while. Maybe I'll do some more costumes later. But y'all still here? You should be... Cut to the video. Just move on. Move on.
There you go. Hold on. Dragon Sword! What's wrong? You gotta put your...
Yes,
Okay, hold on. Alright. Gotcha. Alright. Dragon Sword! Alright, do it again, dude. I got you. Dragon Sword! Oh, yeah! You see that? It works! Yes! Ah!
getting the right level.
I will. I'm going to take one single and then I'm going to jump in.
Okay.
So, here we go.
Yeah.
White Ranger, a little bit that way.
You know I'm a
A little bit more. Just take your body and swing it in like this. There you go. White Ranger. Oh, yeah, right here. There. That's it. Turn your head a little bit more towards me. White Ranger. You gotta cheat a little bit. Turn your head like this. That's the thing.
I heard you had a martial arts school in California?
In California, yep, in Valencia.
Valencia. Oh.
Yep, in Valencia, California. Rising Sun Karate is where
are you there?
I try to go as much as I can.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm gonna post this much. Watch this one.
Wow. Great. Oh my God, that's epic. That's epic. Wow.
Awesome, dude. Thank you for that, man.
Wow. So great. Thank you.
Well, this, I was just promoting the in-costume stuff this year to, cause Super Mega Force and stuff like that. And I kind of like taking people back in history doing that stuff, you know what I mean? I know some people on Instagram say, you look a clown wearing this, but I like taking you all back to, and that's why I was doing it. It's just because I think, I was in that suit recently. It's kind of cool. It's not like I was in the suit 10 years ago and then you see me and you're like, so that's kind of the reason why I was promoting that. I didn't know I thought maybe the White Ranger would do a little bit more and that, but there's an extended version. I just talked to Saban last night. There's an extended version coming out, I think Monday. And there's a lot of scenes that hasn't been shown on the Super Mega War that they're including. I think just because the fans, like we want more, so they're gonna do a little bit of an extended version on that. So that'll probably come out Monday. Yeah.
I want to see it all the movie.
Yeah. Well, it's because of that. We did the you have to remember that a lot, when they filmed it, it was mostly for kids. Like, they didn't really have to explain anything. The kids were like, oh, legendary war, cool. They didn't think the kids would really know who we are. So, but now that the parents are training the kids who we are, and then they know who we are, and the parents really are more like, kids are probably like, oh, that's cool. Parents are probably like, I need to know where they've been, and, and they're probably more upset than their kids, They're all like, Dad, chill out, it's cool. But anyway, so we did the Green Ranger, versus Ryu, which is going to be great, which is going to be a super, I saw the fight scene, man. It's incredible fight scene. January. Yeah, the wire gags, the fight scene, and, dude, it's going to be sick. And so that comes out. And then, of course, with, Lionsgate, they want to do a movie driven to this age group. But on top of that, we're working on something with Saban. I'll know in a week. It's an extended version of like Super Mega Force. It's an extended version of like what we've been doing and explain a little bit more to y'all. That's what we're working on. And that doesn't interfere with the Lionsgate franchise because it's the TV show. You see, so, I don't really know anything about the movie yet. I know I talk to them all the time about doing it, and they're like, we don't see a movie without you, and the face of Power Rangers, just because of the way they've been branding it. And all the other characters are great, don't get me wrong, but when they would release the toys, they would release it much like Rolex. Rolex would put like 2 watches in a Goldsmith box. He worked for Goldsmith, and he created his own brand, so he'd only put like 2 watches in a box. And so it was like, oh, I want that Rolex. So it got really highly sought, like people wanted it, because it wasn't available as much. And that's kind of what happened with the Green Ranger toy. It was like limited, and people wanted the toys, and you couldn't get the Green Ranger. It was kind of like, I don't know if y'all remember, but probably don't. I used to love the G.I. Joe toys, and Storm Shadow was very limited.
Tell me about
I would
it.
go to Toys R Us all the time, and they'd release 2, and when you found a Storm Shadow, I'm like, oh man, I got to get the Storm Shadow, Now they probably pump them out like nothing. Like they're going to start pumping out some of these Green Ranger toys, and you can find them. But back then it was very hard. Like they would only put like 2. Also, Snake Eyes was hard to get as a toy. So those 2 characters were really hard to get, which as a kid, those are the ones I wanted. So that's kind of the branding. But the cool thing, I think, like you have Ray Parks, who's Darth Maul. It's great to see a character if they can embrace their characters a little bit more. Like I told him, like, dude, you're Snake Eyes, go embrace it a little bit more, man. Like you're Snake Eyes in the movie, and you're Darth Maul. Like, I tried getting him to do a superpower beatdown with Darth Maul versus the evil Green Ranger. That's what I wanted.
Oh, yeah.
But usually people are not interested because they don't see the bigger picture. They want to know, like, well, what's in it for me? I was like, nothing. Like social media and just be good for you to get out for your fans. Everyone wants to know what we're getting paid. And as soon as I find out when someone asks, like, well, how much I'm getting paid, I'm done. I'm just done. They're not in my projects. And, Black Unicorn, with Morrison and all that stuff, he didn't ask. And he just did it, and he'll get taken care of later. And that's what I like about it. That's what Font too. I'll be there. I'll say, dude, I need you to, oh yeah, I'll be there. Not asking, where's my gas money, how much money I'm getting paid, stuff like that. And see, with these shows, I never started that. I paid my own way. I still do the New York Comic Con. I take care of my own stuff. I don't want to feel obligated. I don't, people can buy stuff if they want. They don't have to buy stuff. That's why I read Instagram. Like, dude, you don't have to. If you want to come to the table, whatever. Come to the table. I always try to take care of people. If they buy like stuff, I'm like, oh man, I got to give you this for free. You guys are great, loyal fans. And I don't set appearance fees on these shows. I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with the money. I do what I want to do. I don't have to sit at the table until 7 o'clock and sit there and be alone and, wait because I'm getting paid to do that. I don't want to have a job. This has never been my job. And some people have it as a job, and I don't want to, like, condemn them, but it's not my job. Like, this is not my job. I have karate schools, and, I have a clothing line, and I'm happy with my life. And I started this in with MMA. I did MMA because it was fun. Amateur, I don't get paid in amateur. I didn't want to get paid. It was one of those things where I was like, dude, I don't want to be favoritism in the MMA world. I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, you got this big fight because of who you are. I started from the bottom like everyone else. So I fought the grungy, dirty, amateur guys, and it was easy for me. Every match I won. So that's why, and then people, oh, you're not fighting anyone good. It's like, let me build my record, man. You all relax. You got like 40, 50 fights. It still takes time to get used to it. And, helmet time, being a ranger, and air time, skydiving, and mat time as a karate person. And I don't know if y'all parents here. Anybody parents have kids? Okay. Well, see, so, I mean, you learn as a parent, right? There's no handbook on being a parent. And every time, you know, and then you learn, and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Am I, you know, and me and Tammy are always like, you know, saying that, like, cause like, are we doing something? How do we? There's no parenting handbook, although they have a lot of books out there that when you read, you're like, oh my gosh, like really? I have to do all this stuff? It's like really hard. My little girl melts my heart. I can't really discipline her. You know, if she's in trouble, and then I'll go buy her a nice handbag, and then like, what are you doing? You know. I like to I want everyone to know that success is not driven on how much money you have. Success is driven on what you like to do. You know, so a lot of talented people here that will get condemned for doing that because you're not making money. Well, Tony Hawk didn't make money as a skateboarder, you know, and then he ended up. That's why these NBA guys I really respect, because they play basketball for a sport. You see, karate for me was a hobby, and I turned it into like a good business. But I trained my guys that it's not a business. It's still my hobby, passionate as you can be, and you'll come up with good stuff, you know. No one forced you to make the dragon. Dude, if this was your job and this was your 1,000 stuff, you might be like, oh my God, I gotta make 1,000 suits, dude. Like, you know, and after a while, you know, if you look at it like a job, then you're gonna get burnt out. But if you look at it as the 1,000 Dragon Sword you built is your first one, then you'll always be fresh. You see, like, in New York Comic Con, I signed like 1,500 autographs somewhere in there, or 2,000 autographs somewhere. But the first person that came in my line to the 2,000 person that came in my line had the equal respect and the equal treatment. And that's hard to do sometimes because, you know, you're like, oh, dude, I'm number 2,000. I wonder what it's going to be like when I get up there. Everything's refreshed. Always the first thing. So that's like important in life, you know. If you look at your daily job, it's another job. If you look at day by day like I did for the Green Ranger, I was happy and I was blessed every day to do that show. And I was like, I'm an actor. What more? As long as, you know, paying some bills, cool, everything else will follow. And then what happens is, like, money will ruin everything. That's why actors leave and where other Rangers left. It was all politics, and it came to money. Kids didn't know, but it was all that. And I was like, dude, you just got to be happy with what we're doing. You know, we should be blessed. There's 1,000 people behind you that want to take your role. If not now, there's thousands and thousands of people. Sometimes people ask, like, what if you get stereotyped? It's like, who cares, dude? Like, I'm a superhero, and I change millions of people's lives. I really don't care. Now with my social media power, I get actors asking me, and you know, and like they're like, oh man, you do so much social media, and I get producers now. And then with Adam Simon, he did a movie called Man Down with Francis, what's his name?
Gary Oldman, Shadow Buff.
Yeah, and Shia LaBeouf, he did a movie and he sold the movie, and now he's doing another movie. He wants me in, and you know, I've always been cool to that dude, not just because of what he could give me. So you know, things are happening now, and like for me, I feel like with fans, I think a lot of actors feel like the fans owe them, you know. But for me, I feel like I owe the fans because without you all, I wouldn't be here. That's why I spend time on social media. I try to reach out to y'all. I try to give you guys more than just a one-hit wonder when you meet someone. You'll probably be like, oh, I met him. But I try to give relationships. And be like, oh, it's cool. And we build the relationship to, like, you know, how I can do it with hundreds of thousands of people. I try. Some people don't, you know, come and go, but I try to be really active on social media, and we're like accountability partners, lean on each other. You know, we have problems. Don't think I don't open my Instagram when I'm down and out too, and read everything that makes me happy. Like people are like, I know you heard it a million times, man, and you're probably tired of hearing it. You're my biggest hero. For me, like I don't think I can get tired of hearing that. You know, it's like for me, I mean, I don't know, would you get tired of hearing that? But there's a lot of actors that do get tired of hearing it because they heard it a million times. But they treat it like a million. I treat every one of those like it's the first time I'm hearing it. Like I was telling y'all, first time. And that's why you can keep going. I've done 30-something shows, 38 shows this year. And you can go look at all my shows, and it's the same amount of energy. You know, sometimes I get tired, but I hate the word burnt out. When you start saying I'm burnt out of stuff, that means you shouldn't be doing it. You know, revamp yourself, re-energize yourself. Best way to trick yourself is like, I'm gonna have a great day today. I'm gonna have a great day. It's gonna be awesome. You know, this does something to your body, like this. Throw water on your face. You know when they say you're tired and you throw water on your face, and why you wake up is because in our bodies, it's like we're natural to fight that stuff. You know, so when we do that, or I have people clap on the end of the stuff, and it gets people like pumped up because it tells your body like, yeah, this is great, versus just, you know. So in my line, when I try to move people and here and there, a lot of other actors get real like mad, you know, because they're tired of hearing it and annoyed, but I don't really care because it keeps me fresh and it keeps my fans pumped up and it keeps the line exciting versus just, you know, New York was a 6-hour-long line, so I kept going all the way down the line, pumping everybody up. That's the reason why, to wake them up, to get pumped up, to you know, to feed that, so when they come up, they're like, you know, pumped up and have a great experience. Because I know if I was a fan and waiting in line, I would want the same thing. You have to understand, I am a fan, and I meet so many people, and every time I have a bad experience, I look at myself and I say, I never want to do that. So I learn by people's mistakes. That's the reason why I'm so good out there, is I learn from people's mistakes. So I hear it and I go, I'm fixing it. Never want to be that guy. So anyway, it's a small world with social media, right? Now post it all, you'll watch it. We'll probably, no, for real, like I just posted it on Facebook and Instagram. And just so you know, like the fans that I have and the appreciation for stuff, watch. I'll pull up this thing and see how many views I can get. Service. All right. So just in 14 minutes, I got over 40,000 views on it.
What?
Should you put my name on there?
I should have.
Wow,
do you have
40,000.
do you have Instagram
I have
and
Facebook.
stuff?
I have
Yeah,
Facebook.
Facebook.
I
We'll
have
get
Instagram.
Francis. We'll get their names so I can give
Yeah.
credit to them. You know, I'll repost it and stuff.
40,000,
Yeah.
40K. That's
I mean,
fast.
it's like
I need
it is
like
crazy.
30
That's in
minutes.
14 minutes. This would be
Wow.
like over like 500,000 in no time. So you see, like a lot of people don't see my page, the admin's page. But what I do is I can screenshot stuff and send to Saban and say, hey, dude, look, about a movie or about the super power beatdown. You know that costume got like over like 800,000 views in
great.
one day's Bat in the Sun.
That costume was
And it's Saban approved. But Saban said no to the Green Ranger series, and I took a picture and sent it to Saban, and I said, you made a bad mistake right now, because this is the only way. I've never said you didn't let me say it's Morphin time. You didn't let me say it's Dragon Zord. You didn't let me say any of that, and that's what the fans want to hear, and I haven't said it in like 15 years or whatever when I was the Green Ranger. And you know, it's Morphin time. You know, Dragon Zord, I said it on Super Power Beatdown. So, you know, it's just, and you have to understand, Aaron's a fan. So he knows what fans want. The problem is the movie's in Robert's hands, who's done like X-Men, Spider-Man. He's researching. So he doesn't really know, like, you know, I feel fans should be in charge. Like when I went to the Mega War, you should see how many wrong costumes they got. One girl's like, and who are you? And I was like, please, lady. I was giving my costume. My Green Ranger was like, that's Turbo, man. Get it straight, you know what I mean? Look at the pictures, like it was so annoying. And so different props, and you saw I had the silver belt buckle, the silver morpher, and the helmet was silver. I'm like, y'all need to fix that in post, you know? And the reason why it didn't match merchandising, it didn't match the gold morphers that was finally released. They're just released. They're just like, you know, I'm like, dude, you're releasing all these special products and all, and I'm wearing the silver, so you need to change it. So they changed it and stuff. A lot of stuff was cut out because I guess they didn't have the rights to a lot of footage. The fans were like, I want to see this and that, but they didn't have rights to. They didn't have certain rights to some of that footage. That's what they told me. Could just be BS, but whatever. Could just be a pawn off, you know, like, oh yeah, dude, I'll call you later. Do you want to come to dinner? Yeah, maybe means no. You know how it is. I tell family all the time, yeah, sounds good, man. I'll give you a call a little bit later. Sorry, I've been a con. I just saw you post a picture at home. It's a stock photo, dude. Even though they're not. But anyway, you guys have questions about like whatever you talk about or stuff like that? You seen My More from Life episode 10 covers the whole Mega War behind the scenes. You know, it's supposed to be 20 camera crews. I signed my contract. 2 camera crews supposed to follow me. 2 supposed to follow Font. We had 10 of the guys, and so 2 camera crews are supposed to follow. So I was like, oh god, they're gonna like make this in like a reality show or something, you know, because it was a pretty, you know, at that time just to see so much stuff on set that they didn't show, but I did. I was the only camera crew that showed up, and I got permission to go anywhere and film everything, and I thought it was like cool because it was 20 years, real cool, you know. I mean, you know, as far as the episode turned out, but I mean, just having everybody there and showing the costumes and all. So I got all that behind the scene footage, but I couldn't show episode 10 until it was released. So that's on, you know, My More from Life. And then Con TV picked up season 2, so we'll see how that goes. And, you know, if it goes great. If not, I'll put it back on Bat in the Sun. I like Bat in the Sun. Everything we're doing is with Bat in the Sun. Pretty legit. And the cool thing is the budget's not that big on these shows. Dude, if you had the amount of budget, you would be amazed. like that White Ranger versus Scorpion. Like, you know how expensive Hollywood is and stuff. It's expensive, but that thing, man, he shot for like $3,000, dude.
Nice.
I mean, all effects and everything.
That's pretty cool.
3,000. And these movies spend millions and millions and millions of dollars. The first Power Ranger movie was like $80 million, and that Bat in the Sun fight scene was probably better than any fight scene I've ever seen. 3,000, dude.
Did you do the action scenes in that one?
Yeah, I did some, and then
Some?
yeah,
Not all?
some. No, because Alvin, I don't want to take it away from Alvin. Alvin's a pretty good stunt guy, and he trained, he copied and mimicked my stuff, and I wanted to make sure, like, you know, we can have some of the stuff, but just due to the schedule at that time, and you know, and I kind of helped him out. I didn't know who he was, you know, even though Damien said in the Q&A, like, I searched the stuff, and then I was like, yeah, which is totally wrong, Francis. That's not the way the story went down. Like Damien said, then he looked at our stuff and was like, yeah, I'll do it. No, I agreed to do it before I looked at his stuff, because he asked me, did you look at your stuff? Oh, no, yeah, I'll call you that type. And I did it and agreed, and then I was like, I better go watch this guy's work, because I agreed to this, and he's just a cool guy. And then I watched the Wolverine versus Predator, and I thought it was cool. And Tammy's like, oh, this is really cool. So we researched the White Ranger and some of the powers, because Aaron had this big long script. I was like, dude, I don't even know like what kind of powers the White Ranger has. Like, you're gonna have to help me out. So we had the script, so I had to film like little by little of, you know, like this power has this and this, you know, and Aaron's pretty smart about it. So I was researching that, and then Jenna's like, well, just call the Tiger Zord and step on him. So I called Aaron. Can we call the Tiger Zord? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, man, all right. So my instructor, Chris Casamassa, played Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat movie. So Chris Casamassa and Red Dragon played Scorpion. And so I grew up in a Hollywood school, and I wanted to be like him so bad. I wanted to be like a superhero, work in Hollywood and stuff. And so when that happened, I was like, oh, I'm fighting my instructor, you know. And I'm supposed to bow out on that, but it was just you know, it wasn't like a real fight. So we're researching, and we're watching his movie, and, you know, Jenna's all this, and then she's just super quiet, and then, you know, the YouTube thing goes black, and it goes to the page and stuff, and she's just like, I was like, what? She's like, I'm sorry, Daddy. You're gonna lose. And I was like, Jenna, thanks for like believing in me. She's like, I'm just saying that thing's probably, you know, and you know, and it did. Like one of the versions or whatever, Shinema, like, you know, and you know. So anyway, I told Aaron, I'm like, why has it got to be two versions, dude? Like, if it's voted, like, why do you have to have two versions, two winners? You know, like Machinima. Originally, they chopped my head off, and it was like rolling, and like it was so bloody. And Aaron's like, I didn't, you know. I was like, yeah, dude. I mean, so we're doing voting on the, you know, Green Ranger versus Ryu and stuff like that. So I think they always film like two alternate versions, and then they just wait for the winners. Yeah. You know, so just have it. So I always get to see the alternate version.
It's almost like the Super Bowl. They always have the hats for each team, whoever might win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But go ahead and.
Oh yeah, I was wondering if you had anyone you were looking forward to meet, like whenever you started doing the Wizard World. Before
you know, it's funny because I know this is terrible, but I don't watch TV like at all. Like I'll eat like a bowl of cereal and I'll turn TV off. And Tammy would be like, why? And I was like, I just, you know, because I kind of feel guilty. Like I want to be productive, and I have a lot of fans that want to talk to me. So I'll spend my time and my relaxing time on Instagram. Like that and editing. That's my relaxing time. Like if I say I'm just gonna chill, I'll go. And it's cool. I can go to my skydiving pages. I go check out your pages. I'll, you know, lurk around. I'll go to all the other pages, and I can't comment on their page, but I see a lot of people that won't reply. Like, you know, I lost my grandma, and I'm just like, I so want to reply, but especially on some of the other Rangers page, I don't want it to be like I'm stealing the spotlight, but I feel bad for them because they don't get replied. So I want to be like, you know, but I don't want to be like, you're trying to steal fans, but I look at everyone's page. But when I originally came to Wizard World, I mean, I know Bruce Campbell because we were represented by the same manager at one point. And so, you know, the big guys like Shatner and, you know, my agent represents all those guys. But there was one, Michael Madsen, I don't know if you know him from Reservoir Dog and Donnie Brasco. James Russo was also in Donnie Brasco, who I worked with on the one Warrior, they changed the name, Dragon Warrior, whatever. So Michael Madsen, long time ago at the Power Ranger movie, a kid came out of the bushes with a White Ranger suit, and he's like, hey, can you sign this for me? And I was like, sure. The dad came out and I signed it, and it was Michael Madsen. I never got a chance to see him, and I was like, that's Michael Madsen. I'm like, who? And they're like, Reservoir Dog. So I never got a chance to talk to the dude, and I asked him about it, you know, and he's like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, come give me a hug. You know, and I felt like I was in the mafia. I was ready to be like, who do you want me to kill, you know? And then Henry Winkler, you know, and it's cool because, you know, like all the Walking Dead people are like my friends, and John, and I didn't know John does a lot of those movies, and, you know, and like with Norman's cool, and, you know, I had to try to catch up a little bit and watch a couple episodes so I know, you know, so I don't say something stupid. But you know, Tammy's more excited about SpongeBob and New York Comic Con than anybody, you know? She meets, and then 90210 guys, and, you know, and all that stuff, so she's, you know, I gotta watch, you know, see them, but I'm just happy to be like part of the A-list team when I'm out there with those guys.
You get to travel with them?
Yeah, we see each other all the time, you know, and we talk to each other, and we go, you know, Leonard, and Lou's a great guy. I mean, regardless of how the guys deal with business, it's not my business for that, but as far as the personal side, I think it's great. Now, on the business side, I'd like to change everybody, what they do at their tables, but I can't. I'm not an agent. I don't want to be an agent. I would just change a lot of other people on how they do stuff. And, you know, sometimes it's more approachable to have the non-obligation approach than it is to be obligated. You know, you can stand in line, come up there and say hi, and you're not going to feel obligated to, you know, do something. So that's kind of my approach that I take. You know, so, you guys have any questions? Do you have a question?
Actually,
I know. We a couple of questions.
I have a question. I also have something to tell you. Today's my birthday.
Oh, it is your birthday?
Oh,
Yeah.
Happy
birthday.
birthday, dude.
Birthday.
Yeah.
Birthday present to come see you.
Happy birthday, dude.
What a great mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And do you still hang out with like all the other Rangers like that you used to like film with?
I do. I mean, Dave's coming to my house December. Dave Yost. I'm gonna film, you know, season 3 and do an episode. I see Johnny Bosch a lot. I haven't really seen the other guys. I know Austin came back on tour. I haven't seen him at all. I see Walter sometimes. You know, I travel a lot solo, and some of the times I do is just because when I do a panel, like I want to make sure like it's all positive. I don't want to hear anyone say they got ripped off or blah blah blah. I don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. You know, and sometimes like in regards to like, you know, with Dave and, you know, and all what he's going through, I get like, you know, people want to call me and talk about that, and then talk about the why is the Black Ranger black, stuff like that. So it's just, you know, it's just one of those things where like, yeah, it's just, you know, and but we all get together, we have a good time. You know who I really love is the Jason Nardi and Paul Schreier, Bolton Skull. We love those guys, man. I always went out with those guys, you know. And Amy Jo, I talked to her, you know, I just talked to her recently, stuff like that. So I do. I mean, it's not like we hang out all the time, but I think we're all getting older now, and so we're like realizing like, hey man, stuff from the past is the past, man, and everyone's getting older and stuff. So, you know, so I'll just get along type of thing, you know. But we'll take a couple more questions, then I know we got to get out of here.
You ever gonna try that? You ever seen your Uriah Faber do that MMA?
Skydiving? Yeah,
You
dude.
gonna try that?
Dude, that's so like hokey, man.
Yeah. Are they really fighting?
No, dude.
Oh, it's Corey?
No. Yeah, he put that out like a BS thing. Like, so like everyone called him BS on it, especially me. I'm like, dude, go ahead, man. Like, you know, these guys, Navy SEAL guys, and all these guys that are out there in the Army are trying, dude. I'm in the skydiving world. Like, I know everybody, and nobody heard of it. And I think they did it for like outside people, you know, to get hits and all that. But all the inside people are like, shh. But like in tunnels and all that other stuff, yeah, I'll tell them, dude, anytime. Let's do that stuff. You know, break boards. I'll be busting heads up there. You know, but Johnny Bosch went in the wind tunnels in season 2 and hit one of the instructors and knocked out the instructor with the shin. So like that stuff can happen. But imagine if it was up there, dude, it'd be like too super dangerous. So I think all the skydivers are kind of like mad at him because they're like, dude, you're giving like skydiving a bad name. You know, it's like super dangerous and dumb to be fighting up there and, you know, parachute. So a lot of people are like, no, I'm not gonna skydive and stuff. It's funny you say that though, dude, because I saw that thing. Yeah.
I wonder if it's real.
No, I'd like it to be. I'll do it. They know me, dude. So when I start commenting on my page, nobody talks crap about it. Like, cause you know, every people are like, oh, this guy's a real karate guy. Let's not talk to him, dude. You know, cause he'll call me out on it. You know, I will too. I got a skydiving Facebook page just for skydivers, dude, and I'll go on there and I'll you know, it's not like whatever, it's one of those skydiving pages where I can say what I want on those pages, you know? But, anyway, if you guys, I don't know if you have my More for Life stickers and all that stuff, I got them at the table, I didn't bring any here and all that stuff. You guys are welcome to come by, say hi or whatever, and I got stickers there and promos, but I want to thank you all for, you know, coming today and stuff like that, and, you know, hopefully you all had a good time.
I have one question. So for the Ryu versus Green Ranger, the suit and the helmet and all that stuff, it was made by Aniki.
Yeah,
Is it possible if he's
Yeah.
be distributing it? Because
I told,
But he said he was gonna ask you for permission before he
Yeah.
finished it.
So
yeah, I told Aaron, you know, Saban's a little upset because they're like, well, you changed the costume. I'm like, dude, it's legit. You know what I mean? And the problem is, like, they're a little upset because, like, what's Lion Gate gonna look like? They want it to be this reboot thing of, like, coming out with the costume, but we told them, I was like, I don't know, dude, this is our pilot episode to the Green Ranger series, is what we wanted to do. So they're gonna be, like, drooling over it and regretting it, because this thing will have so many hits, dude. And it's like, we're gonna be one of those things where they're probably, it's a great toy, I got more hits than you know, it's legit. So, I want Anarchy, but I don't think the gloves and the boots are made by him, but I think it'd be really easy to do, but the helmet is.
the helmet and the
But
shield.
the helmet is, but the helmet I think was painted especially by someone else. I think the shield's the same, but then they
He said he
painted.
made the shield and the helmet.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Anarchy's a good guy. I just gotta jump his butt a lot, dude. He's so slow. You know what I mean? Like, he's super slow, dude. I gotta be like, come on, man, I need my dragon dagger, dude. Like, I promote you all the time.
He changed his methods now, so he limits his orders like per month until he finishes.
I told Anarchy, dude, I said, dude, what do you need? You need financial backing? Because, like, I can back you and get it, like, a whole factory going or whatever you need just because you put good costumes out. And, you know, my fans want it, but, he never got back to me. But you know, I'm gonna hire some good people, make a little business. He can sell a lot of those, dude. And they're to me, I don't think they're that expensive for the helmets. You have to understand the helmets that he makes on the show were $10,000. Was what we paid for them, each helmet. So the stuff they're making now is like legit. I have the original Dragon Dagger. It's a hunk of junk, dude. We should have brought it. It is, but it's original. You know, it's like foam. Some kids like, what's that made out of? Johnny Bosch is like, dude, foam and a wire. Next question. So I was like, dude, you're so mean. So I started talking about this special this that is made of that. And then on the end, I was like, it's foam and wire. So, but thank you guys. Stop by if you don't have the My More for Life sticker.